Mm-hmm. Morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me. I'm trying to get this thing adjusted a little bit. I never know where to look. Where in the hell's the camera? I look like I'm looking off to the right. I guess it's right here. Yeah, that's the camera right there, that little dot. I like to be able to look at you. Okay, now I have to go. I have to go to my phone so I can read. Uh, what's on here? Hope everybody can hear me okay. What a day. What a day. Sunny, mild breeze. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Come on. I'll get it up here in a minute. Who we got? John. I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm trying to get my phone with you guys so I can read them because on the iPad, when the comments come up, they're only there a second or two and then they disappear. So I have to read them off my phone. I know there's probably a setting for that. It's kind of like reading instructions when you buy something. Who does that? Mushkipotamus, hi. How are you doing? AJ Wells, hi Skip. What's happening today? Man, nothing. Let me show you. Can I turn this around? Look at that. Could this be much more of a perfect day? Probably about 75 out right now, give or take, ish. 77, 78, I'm guessing. Mild breeze, sunny skies. Compared to some parts of the country, I mean, what have I got to complain about? Isn't that just great looking? I mean, it really is. Oh well. I don't want to make it sound like I'm rubbing it in. I'm really not. I'm just saying it's just a great day. What I'm doing today is I'm trying to finish up. Sue's over at the camper, I think. Yeah, she's over at the camper I believe she's packing it. I was up last night till about 2 in the morning trying to get things in my head ready for the WNL show. And it's just, for me, at my age, there's several things when you get older. I don't know what causes it, but your memory isn't as good. You just don't remember things like you should. And by that I mean, listen, the show's all in fun. I'm not taking it real serious, but I take my performance kind of serious of what I'm doing. And when I like the question and answer thing, and if I hit the wrong button, I always say I hit the wrong button, and I just make fun of it. That's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. But after the show's over, my mind is like, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep hitting the wrong button? So last night, I come up with this little uh, cutout board that actually goes over the buttons, and I kind of wrote over each button on that board what that button was for to kind of help make sure I hit the right buttons all the time. But what I'm afraid now is thinking ahead, I'm going to be doing the show and I'm going to have to look down at the buttons to see that I hit the right button. And to me, that just looks, off. So, but anyway, like I say, it's not a professional show. It's not ABC or anything, and I don't have a staff. We do what we can do, but in my head, I'm just trying to get it right. Who's coming on? Because the sad thing is, as you all know by now, I lost my co-host, and she was pretty good as a co-host. She helped me out a lot when I wanted to make changes, like say on my YouTube settings. I'm not an expert on that. I'm better at it than I used to be. But if I had a problem with something, I could call Melody and say, "Hey, I need to do this or that, and I don't know how to get there." And then we got a thing called screen share. For those of you that maybe don't know much about computers and stuff, but on my program I've got screen share, and so I would share my screen with her on her computer so she could see exactly what I was doing. And she would say, "Go here, go there, poke this, poke that." and then we would get it all set up the way I wanted it, and I'd say thanks and take her out to dinner, and that was the end of that. So I've lost that, and it's going to be hard, but I'll figure it out. Oh, somebody's asking about super stickers, or at least something popped up here. Yeah, super stickers, the super chats will be open on the show. They always are. And just as a reminder, any of that money that we do get is put aside. I get 70% of that money, by the way. If we get $100 worth of super chats and super stickers, actually I receive 70 bucks. YouTube keeps 30. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm just glad that they have that feature where we can get anything. And anyway, I take that money at the end of the show, and we add all that up, and we set it aside for next month for the show. Now, here's the problem. Next month, I'm going to be in Texas. So I don't think, and I'm just off the cuff here, because I tried it once. I did this once before down there. I didn't think it worked out well at all. Plus, there's more stuff I got to pack. And it's just a big problem. I don't think we're going to have a WNL show next month, or at least not the same kind of show that we would have it if I was here. I don't think we're going to have prizes to give away because, one, I'll be down there. I don't think we're going to have games to play for prizes because I'm not going to have the prizes to give away, so I do the game, right? But I might do maybe a live where we could just come on and just, I don't know, maybe just goof around for an hour or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just planning on not having a WNL for next month. But don't let that stop you from super chatting on this show. I mean, it's just a heads up, because whatever money we get on this show, if I don't do one next month from Rockport, Texas, I'm going to be doing one in April when I get back here. And so that money will go for the April prizes. Okay? Enough about the money. Ricky P says, hello, Patricia Daly. I'm a Jersey girl. Love Jersey. I like Jersey people. I've really never known very many people from Jersey, but since I moved down here, I've run into quite a few of them. And I get a kick out of them. Every time I meet one, they always got to tell me what exit number they're off of, or they're by the shore. It seems like those are the two most common things. Hey, I watch you all the time. I live in New Jersey. I'm off of exit 82. I don't even know where that is. But I just find that kind of cute. And I actually run into a guy down here in his golf cart from Jersey. And he had a little license plate made to go on the back of his golf cart. And he said the reason why he got that was because of what the fun that I made about it, because I guess in Jersey, that's just a normal thing. And he really never thought about it. So for other Jersey people that he might pass in his golf cart, he put a license plate on the back of it that says exit 106 or whatever it was, that exit something. It was a New Jersey license plate. I just thought that was funny. Wish I'd have got a picture of it, but I thought that was funny. Guy's got a sense of humor, right? By the way, before anybody asks, there is no beer of the day. I got up late today. I'm still having my coffee. Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing like morning coffee. Morning, what time is it? My thing says 11:30. I got up about an hour ago, 10:30. I know, a lot of people say, boy, you sleep in late. I do sleep in late. Hey, John. Thanks, buddy. You didn't have to do that here. I never ask for super chats when I'm doing these live things. I just like doing them just to talk to people. I only ask for the super chats and super stickers for the WNL show when it's live. But if you can't do that, though, you can do it here, and that money will go into the kitty for probably April show. But I do appreciate it, John. Thanks so much. Oh, gosh. I got 2 games, like we always do. I got to tell you, I'm not too sure about these games. They were sent in by a viewer, a subscriber, a friend that actually I've met. And I went over them. And one of them I think will be okay. Both games are okay. Here's the problem with any game that I get. It's always about scoring. I like to do the simple stuff, like my game, ding, ding, ding. That's me. I like those things because it's usually a simple answer, simple thing, like the mixed words. Everybody understands that. It's easy peasy. Or the face recognition game. I made that up. That's kind of easy peasy. Uh, so stuff like that. These games are more interesting, I think, that were given to me. It's the scoring thing. It gets complicated for this old mind here that doesn't remember things as sharply as it used to. And so I'm always asking somebody on the show to help me out with that. Like I'll tell Sue, keep score. But hey, she's no younger than I am. She has a problem remembering things too. So this is a scoring thing, and the scoring on a couple of these is going to be a little tricky for me. And I know when I do this, there's going to be questions, or I'm going to have to say, hey, whose turn is it? Because I can't remember all that. So anyway, we'll get it figured out. But Grace sent these games to me, and I'm going to use them, and I appreciate it, Grace. And she's good about that. I'm going to probably have to add at least one more person on the show to help out. I think I know somebody that will. I just don't know if she wants to help out all the time, and that will be Judy. Judy lives in the Finney area, and that's who really I'm looking for, is somebody in the Finney area. And Judy, she's going to help out this month with the reports. You know how we do reports about the building, and what's going on down there. We can't report everything, but we report enough to where people get the idea of what's going on down there. And then if they're coming down to look at a house or buy a home, at least they have an idea of what's going on down there, what they want to buy maybe near, or what they want to buy far away. You know what I'm saying? Me, it's pickleball courts. I do not want to be around a pickleball court. I got nothing against. Somebody sent me an email the other day saying, what did I have against pickleball players? I got nothing against pickleball players. It's a funny thing on talking live. People will take something you say and then totally twist it out of shape that I didn't say that at all. All I said was, I don't like being around pickleball courts because of the constant noise. That's all I said. And then somebody sends me an email saying, what do I have against pickleball players? I got nothing against pickleball players. I think it's great that they're out there. They got more energy than I got. They're playing on hot days. They're sweating the pounds away. They're having a good time. Pickleball players are generally pretty a tight-knit group. They're kind of like golfers that plays as a foursome. That foursome is usually a pretty tight-knit group, and I respect that. I run the golf here in Hillsboro for as many as 65 players at one time every week. We played executive courses on Wednesday every week, and then after that we would go someplace, wherever the guys wanted to go. I didn't care where, and we would have lunch or a beer or something after the game. We'd sit around and shoot the bull for a little while. I loved doing that. I really did. So pickleball players are kind of the same way. They're kind of a tight-knit group. And so I got no problem with that. I got no problem with pickleball players at all. Thought I'd just show you that real quick. There goes the pest guy, one of them. Phone number on there says 1-800-PEST CONTROL. 1-800-PEST CONTROL. Actually, when that guy started that company, here's another story that, nobody's going to believe. I was in a process. This house was being finished up, and we were in the process of, we weren't quite closed yet. We hadn't closed on the house yet, but we were within probably a month of closing on this house. I probably shouldn't say anything really, because I can't get nobody in trouble. So the villager, when you buy a new house, they're very, very strict on who has access to that house once it's been sold. They lock everything up, and they don't allow nobody in. That's cool with me. That is very cool. Once you put an offer on the house, that's it. The footprints they're staying out. Nobody's going in there. So I bought this place, and I'm standing out in the driveway, and Sue and I were talking about basically the landscaping. Come think about it, there might have been a landscaper here with me, and we couldn't do anything yet because I hadn't closed on the house. and we were talking about what to do, what kind of bricks to use, how to make the design. I wanted something, it's a small yard. So I didn't want something overpowering the whole yard. I wanted something that looked nice. It kind of, set it off a little bit. And we were talking. Well, this guy came by in a black pickup truck, and I can't even think of the guy's name. And he, I don't know who they are. Somebody knew. He introduced himself and said he was going to start this pest control service for the villages, and I think he told me 466 and south. He might go everywhere now, I don't know. And he said he'd like to give me a price on, spraying the yard for insects, or spraying the house for insects, or fertilizing the grass, weed control, all this stuff. It costs, just ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. And at that time, I didn't have time to really talk to him. I was too busy. I said, I want to get this out of the way first. I haven't closed on the house yet. Give me your card, and when we get things going, I'll give you a call, blah, blah, blah. And it seems to me I did give him a call. He did come back, and I can't remember why I didn't use him. Nice guy. Seriously, nice guy. I think he's as honest as the day is long, and it's been proven because this has been 7 years ago that I talked to him when he first started that company, maybe 8 years ago, and I know he's expanded a lot because I see different trucks like that has his name on it all over the place. So he's good at what he does. I think he's as honest as the day is long. I've never done business with the guy, but it wouldn't bother me to do business with the guy. But Sue signed a contract with some other company. I don't remember who it was. True Green, maybe. True Green? That could be it. I'm not sure. I don't bother her. I don't bother her with a lot of that stuff. So whoever we got, we got. They take care of everything. So anyway, but the subscriber that brought me those games, I was working late over to Camper the night before last, Monday night. I didn't get home till 9:30 at night. And when I got home, I pulled in the garage, shut the door, went in the house, and there was nobody in there. So now I'm looking for Sue, because what is she doing out at 9:30 at night? I mean, I just know her her normalcy. I don't care that she's out at 9:30 at night. She go, maybe it's the neighbors, I don't care. But normally at 9:30 at night, believe this or not, my wife is getting ready for bed. She's not out. So then I thought I heard a noise. So I grabbed a beer out back, and I came out the front door, and I hollered. I said, "Are you out there?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm out here." And I come out here. The subscriber and her husband were here, and they were sitting out here talking. So I sat out here and had a beer with all of them. I'll turn this around so you can see local golf cart traffic. Yeah, a nice day like this, everybody's out and about, playing golf, traveling. This would be one of them kind of days where a lot of the neighbors will get together and they'll go to Disney World for the day or whatever. They do everything here. I mean, they didn't like when I say retirement community or anything, and you hear the word active adult community, that all to me sounds all kind of passe stuff, old. But truly, this is got to be the most active adult community I've ever seen. Active, active, active. And if you can't find anything to do, it's because you don't want anything to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can be as active as you want, or you can be as inactive as you want. Look at me, for example. I used to play golf when I first moved here 7 days a week. Every day I played golf somewhere with somebody. And I also did water volleyball. I like that, especially on a hot day. The main reason why I don't do water volleyball anymore, people's always asking why you don't do something that you used to do, is because I've got, I don't know what you call it, I forget now, where I'm losing pigment in my skin. And so areas that don't have pigment, if I'm in a hot sun for not very long either, I'm going to say 10 minutes. The white parts of my skin where there is no pigment will blister, and it hurts. The non-pigmentary parts of my skin has spread. It's on my back, it's on my face. I mean, this time of year you can't tell, but in the summer, if I start getting tan, you'll see brown spot here, a brown spot here, and the rest of it is just red, and that's what will blister. So I give up water volleyball because I just simply couldn't be in the sun. And you can say, well, wear a big hat. It doesn't work. That sun and the heat reflects off the water up into your face, and I will blister from that. When I played golf, if you guys ever look at some of my old golf videos that I done, not very good, I know, but it kind of shows you what we were doing. You'll notice I'm wearing two gloves. Nobody wears two gloves when they play golf. Well, because on my arms, that's where it started, was on my hands. Both hands had loss of pigmentation. By the end of the day, the next day, my hands were totally blistered, and I couldn't do anything for a week, maybe longer. So I started wearing two gloves to hide that so I wouldn't get blistered. And it worked for a long time. Well, now it's kind of spread up my arm and everything. So if I was to play golf today, I'd have to cover up like something crazy. And so that, along with there's an asshole that I don't want to play with. That mostly, though, is the reason why I just don't want to get out in the sun much anymore. I can't go to the swimming pools. I know I complain about people using our pool, and I still stand by that. They should not be doing that, but they do. And me and Rohan's been in that argument several times, and I'm not going to give up on that because I know if it happens here, and even though you people in Finney may think that you don't have a problem there, we didn't have a problem here when we first opened up. 7 years later, we have a problem. You're going to have the same problem. When that building moves on, your pools are going to get invaded by landscapers, and you're not going to like it. And so I'm just saying, if there's something you want done, do it now. Just like them golf cart trails, I've showed video. I even took pictures of it and showed you what's going on. And I showed you the comparison between there and here and north of here. And they say, well, it's the same. It's not the same. And your trails are falling apart already. And if you don't jump on it, 5 years from now, when all that district has been turned over to you guys, you're going to be one of them people that's going to be on the village's news talking about, well, these golf cart trails were never installed correctly, and now they want us to pay $1 million to have them resurfaced. That's going to be you. Do it now. I'm preaching to the choir, I know, but I don't think people listen. I don't think so. You know, some of these golf carts got a loud muffler. Uh-oh. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay, I'm back. Where's it at? Okay. Oh my gosh, where are we at? I gotta go all the way down here, don't I? Whiskey Potamus says, porch sitting are the best videos. Off the cuff is funny. Yeah, I know. Everybody tells me that. I guess I'm kind of a perfectionist. I've always been that way. When we used to buy houses and live in them while we were fixing them up, I guess we flipped them, but I never had a time frame to make a profit. We would move in a house, and we might live in that house for 5 years. That was seems to be my attention span, 5 years. And we would fix them up room by room by room. And then at the end of that 5 years, generally speaking, we'd had another house that we were looking at, and we may have put an offer on it with a contingency that this house has got to be sold first, and then I'm buying this house. And we'd give them a good down payment to hold that house for us. And that's what we did for years, Sue and I. And I'll be honest with you, I think sometimes we missed our calling because we bought a total of 17 homes, and we never lost money on any of them. But we put a lot of sweat equity in them, and we did okay. I think maybe we should have done more of that, but anyway, it is what it is. So everything to me had to be right. I mean, to the point where I would walk around the house sometimes, a room that we were, let me turn this around, to a room that we just finished up, and I would look at the walls at paint, And if it was a little spot that wasn't quite right, I would touch it up with a paintbrush. And I don't mean a real wall paintbrush. I mean like a small paintbrush, like you were going to paint a picture. I went around the house touching all that stuff up. If there was a little bit of paint that got on the trim, I'm the guy that was in there with a scraper or sandpaper or whatever, getting all that paint off that trim. Because if you bought a brand new house, it wouldn't look that way. And Sue said I was extreme on a lot of stuff, and I probably was, but I can't help myself. If it's something that I know that's wrong, truthfully, I can't sleep well at night till I fix it. I gotta fix it. And that's the way I am on the show. If I do something and something's going wrong, even though a lot of people say that it's funny, when we have a train wreck on the show, the Wi-Fi, I ain't in control of the Wi-Fi. There's nothing I can do about it except do the best that I can do. I've got high-speed Wi-Fi, high-speed router. Everything's plugged into that router. It's not wireless. My computer and stuff in there is actually plugged into my router to get the best service. So when the Wi-Fi goes crazy, though, my mind is blank. I just go blank. I can't think of anything else but what's going on, what's wrong with this, because it shouldn't be doing this. And everybody tells me that, that was funny as hell to watch me go crazy and try to fix something. And I can understand when I do the replay, and I do watch it. I watch the replay for a couple of reasons. And I see me acting like an idiot. I can see why you're laughing. I'm an idiot. Look at me. What am I doing? But anyway, it is what it is, and I just keep working with it. We're not going anywhere else other than Texas there, Muskepotamus. 2 years ago, I went down to Rockport, Texas. Rockport, Texas got hit by a big hurricane called Hurricane Harvey. I'll say 5 years ago. I don't really know. My cousin is a full-time RVer. You guys have probably seen them RV channels, full-time. Well, he is a full-timer. He's been full-time RVing now since the day he retired. Actually, no, not the day, but within a year after he retired from the Air Force. He wanted to travel the country, and as the way he put it, he wanted to see what he's been defending his whole life. And how do you argue with that? Well, he bought a big fifth wheel, and he lived in, at that time, I believe, he lived in Missouri. Or Missouri, however you want to pronounce it. And so he took off. His first stop was somewhere around Dallas, Texas. And I don't know why Dallas, but he went somewhere around Dallas and he parked it. Well, it was right there next to this huge lake. I got a feeling I kind of know where this place is at, because I think I've seen it when I was in my semi-truck travels. So he liked it so much, he bought a boat, because he's a fisherman. He loves to go fishing. He would go fishing every day if his wife would let him. He bought a boat, and he fished in this lake. Something like 5 years later, he's still in this RV park next to this lake. And I asked him one time, we was emailing back and forth. I said, what happened to your travels? You didn't get far. And he sent me a thing back saying, I like it here. So I said, well, okay, if you like it there, that's great. Somebody's YouTube member just came up there. I didn't quite catch the name, but whoever's my YouTube member that just popped up there, thanks for being a YouTube member. That means a lot to me. You may not know this, but I have future plans for Patreon members and my YouTube members. Right now, I'm giving you guys commercial-free stuff, and I'm letting you guys have early access on some things, not all things. But as YouTube gets more and more competitive around here, I have future plans for YouTube members and Patreon members. So, Susan Orland, that was you. You are one of my members, I can tell, because it popped up in green, right? I think you're a member. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Because all member stuff should pop up in green. Jerry Bell. See how Jerry Bell's name is in green? He's a member. So that's how I can tell you're a member. Also, let me say this. I just found out from YouTube, this might be something new that they've added to creators like me. I don't want this to sound bad. I'm not trying to be bad, but I've been harping on people subscribing to my channel for a long time, and most people subscribe. It's not a big deal, but I get an email. I got one here not too long ago. It really got me to thinking. They sent me an email. It was a nice email. Nothing, there was nothing derogatory about it at all. I don't remember who the person was. That makes no difference. It was the content that I was watching. She, it was a she or a he. I don't really remember, but they said they loved watching my videos. They said that they think that my editing skills on some of my videos were really good. They liked the porch setting, the live stuff. They really appreciated everything I did. They loved the WNL show, everything that was good. Okay, but then the last thing she said was, or he said, I'm not sure, he or she, was, I'm not subscribed to your channel because I don't believe in subscribing. And that's what took me back. And I even talked to the people that came over here, the other subscribers that brought the games for the show. I said, why? I'm trying to get it straight in my head. Why would you not subscribe? I said, somebody tell me something, or let me learn something, because if there's a reason, give me the reason so I can either fix it or I can explain it. And we've already explained a million times, subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not subscribed. This isn't HBO or HBO. And I think that's what people get screwed up is they say, well, if you subscribe to HBO, it costs me $15 a month. That's true. This isn't that way at all. This is just, subscribing means it's a way that you say, I'm subscribed to your channel because I like it and I want to see more of it. And then when you hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell and then hit all, every time something comes up like this, you get notified that either I'm live or a new video just came out. And I've been checking with that because some people say they don't get notified. I don't know why. Only thing I can say is either you're not subscribed, you just think you are, or you did not hit that bell and hit all. Because I have another YouTube channel, as you all know. I came from that channel and I subscribed myself to this channel to myself. And every time that it comes up live or a new video comes out on my cell phone, I get notified each and every time. So if you're not, I'm just using this evidence as why I say what I say. You're either not subscribed, you just think you are, or you did not hit the bell and all. When you hit the bell, a list comes up of, think of 3 choices: all, not now, or something. I forget what it all is. But you just want to hit all. So every time something new comes out, you get notified. So anyway, YouTube came out with another setting. I don't know where it is yet. If Melody was here, I'd call her and ask her where it was at. I really would, but I don't know where it is. Hey, Phil, Beard, where have you been, buddy? I ain't heard from you for a while. Oh, my mockingbirds are back. He's up there. They got a nest up there, I think, somewhere. So anyway, what was I talking about? Shoot, I forgot already. Oh, a setting that YouTube's got is they have a setting now to where I can set it so that if you cannot how do I put it? You cannot, I don't know who that is. Looks like another young kid living with grandma in my neighborhood. I don't know why people's got to do that. Why you got to bring your grandkids down here to live with you? What's the problem here? Jesus. But anyway, I can set it to where if you're not subscribed, you cannot partake in the chats. They won't let you do that. You have to be subscribed to be in the chat. I'll tell you why that's important to me. Is when we do the WNL, we have the games and the free prizes we give away. That person that says they love my shows and everything, but says they do not subscribe, why should they be allowed to have the chance to win a free prize when all I've ever asked people to do is subscribe to the channel? And she won't do that. He won't do that, whoever it was. And it's not fair, I don't think, to those that do. So if I find that setting, and I'm going to be looking for it, it probably won't be on this show, but by April, hopefully, I'll get it figured out. I'm going to turn that setting on. So if you're not subscribed, things like this live chat here, you're not going to be able to be on the chat. It's not going to allow you to do that. I'm just giving you fair warning. I'm not trying to be mean about anything. I'm trying to be fair to the masses. Okay. But anyway, Muscipodimus. I got to rambling, didn't I? Um, Rockport, Texas. I'm going down there for a month, and I enjoy it there. It's nothing fancy there. The RV park is small, but it's very nice, very clean. There's no dirt, no gravel. It's all concrete roads, concrete level pads. They got a saltwater hot tub. They got a saltwater swimming pool. They have an exercise room. They have a recreation room. They put on things there for people that's in the park. You know, like free donuts and coffee sometimes in the mornings, things like that. The thing is probably only within, I don't even know how close, but it's real close to the Gulf right there. And my cousin being there, of course, he knows how to get around to everything. But we go over, he takes us over to the Aransas Island. Is that what it's called? Aransas Island? And that's really where the tourism's at over there. We don't go there for the tourism, but it is nice to see. And we go to the beaches over there. It's like part of Padre Island in that area. We've done all kinds of things that he's actually taught us that I don't know nothing about. We look for sea glass, which, the way I understand it, it's just broken glass, I guess, from many, many years ago that's been out in the ocean. It rolls around with the waves and whatever, gets washed up on shore. By the time it gets on shore, it's rounded. It looks like a glass rock, and they like to collect them. And we actually went out and picked some of them up, and I think we still have them. They're in the camper. So I don't know what we're going to do with them, but we've got them. And of course, he is part of the animal rescue program down there. I went out with him a couple of times on a couple of animal rescues that happened, like a pelican needed rescued, and there was something else I forget. Up to which we couldn't catch neither one of them because they were out into the water, and when they're in the water like that, you can't really catch them. They outswim you or whatever. But he does that. So hopefully this time I'll be able to go out with him some more, and maybe we'll actually catch him. This winter they went out and rescued a bunch of green sea turtles because they had that cold snap down there, and some sea turtles got washed up on the beach because they just got cold. And they take them into the, I want to say the Noah's Ark. That's the name of the rescue area. And they put them in these pools. They give them medicine, food. They get them back to health, and then they take them back and turn them loose. Of which I did a video of that Noah's Ark the last time I was down there. And so hopefully I'll be able to go out with him. So Ron and his wife Margaret, she's from England. They met when he was in service over in England. They can keep us hopping, you know, and there's other things we can do there. Sue and I do venture out on our own once in a while just to get away and wander around in our car. But yeah, it's just a small, quaint little town. It's nothing, say, fancy. It's not like Disney World, or it's not like Panama City. It's just a small community down there. And the thing I do like about it is they do not allow, in the state of Texas anyway, they don't allow building condominiums, or at least I'll say in that area. They don't allow condominiums being built on the beach. You know how they are in Florida, which I've always been against, but that's because, see, they have public access. Good luck on finding it to start with. And when you do find it, good luck on finding parking, because they always have enough parking for like 6 cars, and they're always full. And then you got to park half a mile away somewhere and then walk to this public access. That just don't seem fair to me at all. But anyway, that's the way it is. In Texas, it ain't that way. The beaches are wide open. I respect that. Oh, WrestleMania says, got to get back to work. I just now seen that. Good Lord, I didn't even know you was on here, buddy. Thanks for showing up. By the way, I saw your last video. You were at a museum, but it was like a you had to go through a bunch of technical issues to actually get in the museum because it was protected by the military, I think. And yeah, it is what it is, right? KM says, Skip, I'm excited you're doing solar on your WNL. I know nothing, so this will be helpful. Hey, KM, I know nothing. I bring people on the show like that to educate everybody because living in a retirement community that has a lot of areas where people get together and they just talk. Um, I think sometimes information gets really totally twisted out of shape where it's just not true anymore. But you can't convince somebody that's telling you something that's not true that he's not telling you something that's true. You just can't do that. Here's a good example of that. It was a rumor that started, like, I want to say 10 years ago, maybe longer than that. It was a book that somebody wrote, and it was called Not Inside the Bubble. That's a factual book. This was somebody came here during their lifestyle visits way back when. I think they were building Lake Sumter, and he enjoyed the place. And this guy was an author. He wrote stuff, and then he wrote a book about that was inspired by the villages, called something like Dreamland or something like that. I can't remember the name of the book. Sue would know. Well, he made this stuff up in this book, all kinds of stuff. People were having affairs in Dreamland. And then there was also something in there about Dreamland had the most STDs of anywhere in the world or something. And somebody in the nation grabbed a hold of that. Next thing you know, it's all over everybody. It seemed like everybody that knows anything about the villages that don't live here, by the way, and probably never visited here, by the way, they know that we're the STD capital of the world. Ask any of them. That's what they all know about. Oh, that's the place that's got all the STDs. What? No. Yeah, I know it is. How do you know it is? Do you live there? No, I don't live there. Well, then how do you know that? Oh, I know. They don't know anything. They sat at a bar somewhere, some drunk next to them, sit there and babbled a bunch of crap and told them something, and this is what happens. So, yeah, I'm leery about sometimes what's said, what ain't said, and here's another example. I heard so much nightmarish stories from people about reverse mortgages. Listen, I'm not going to do a reverse mortgage. I know what we're going to do, and that's it. I'm not doing a reverse mortgage. But that's just me. Out of hundreds of thousands of people that retire, a reverse mortgage might be something they may want to do or may have to do. I don't know. And I heard all these people, I'd ask them as we're sitting in a bar somewhere after a game of golf, I'd say, do you know anything about reverse mortgages? Oh, yeah, my brother got one. He told me it was a nightmare. He got screwed out of thousands of dollars. They did this, they did that, blah, 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 blah. I said, your brother told you that? Yeah. Well, is your brother, is he believable? Because that just don't even sound right. He's, well, I guess. I don't know. That's what he told me. But he didn't know. And then everybody I talked to was like that. Oh, I heard, a friend of mine told me that a friend of his, it was like I heard. Nobody knew anything. So I had this opportunity to invest or to invite a couple of I was going to say bank people, but I don't think they're bank people. Anyway, they reverse mortgage specialists, and they had an office in Alabama, and I think that's where they did most of the reverse mortgages was in the state of Alabama. And after getting referred to them and talking to them, because before I have somebody on the show, I talk to them. I do a systems check to make sure their camera's good, make sure their audio quality is good, make sure the lighting is good. We get it all set up so when the show starts, everything's as good as we can get it. The biggest problem we have with my show, really more than anything, it's always audio, because people will sit in a dead room, and I understand. I'm not putting it down. I understand what happens. They open up their laptop, and then they start talking, and they're far away from the computer, and then you hear this echo in the background, reverberation, and that's really distracting. And there's two ways of getting rid of that. One is get closer to your computer so you don't have to talk so loud. Or two, put blankets or something on the wall, hang them over the windows. The more stuff you hang it over the door. I do this in my room when I do Saturday. You guys can't see it, but I have a blanket over the window. I got another blanket that goes over the door that I shut. I got a blanket that goes over the closet doors. All that kind of absorbs noise so it doesn't echo. That's how professional I am. But I had them on, and then they started. I started asking the questions that people had told me about the nightmare stories, and I wrote these things down, and I would ask these questions, and these people were direct, and they answered things exactly how it was, how it worked, so on and so forth. Now, can each bank do things differently? I'm guessing they probably can. Can each state have different requirements on how reverse mortgages work? I'm guessing they can, but you know what's funny? Nobody asked them questions on the chat. We had the chat open to ask anything you wanted, anything. Because I told them, I said, I'm going to have the chat open, and we're allowed to get a bunch of weird questions. You might even get some comments that are kind of bad, maybe nasty. I'm not going to say they're nasty, but they might be comments that you might have to struggle with. But I said, that's what the show's about, is truth. He said, we'll take them on. I said, okay. At the end of the show, after we answered all the questions in the time frame that we had, and they left, and I thanked them for coming on. And that's brave of them to do that, to come on a show like that. At the end of the show, I got a bunch of emails all of a sudden on my email thing, because you can't do comments at the end of the show. That's over. So now you got email saying, well, you better tell your people they better watch this or that, or you better let them know that if they do that, they could cost them this much money. And I'm thinking to myself, where were you at during the show? Why are you waiting till the end of the show to spread more probably untruths? Because I can't verify any of that. And when I get those kind of emails, I generally kind of ignore them, because it's just, to me, it's purposeless. There's just nothing there substantial for me to share with you guys. So I just don't pay no attention to them. Okay, let me move on here. I ramble too much, don't I, about something. John O.C. says, no problem. Oh, that's the guy that gave me the super chat. No problem, John. I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. Muskie Potamus says, pick me. I live in Finney. You never know, Muskie. Never know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Since Melody passed away, I got to do some. Because if you think about it, as far as the show goes, and I don't want it to be about me, it's not. But the show, it takes a while sometimes to break somebody in, to kind of get an idea how to do things without me checking all the time. You know what I mean, right? And then we lost Deb. She might come on once in a while as a guest just to say hi or something, but I don't think she wants to do it full time, and that's the thing. Uh-oh, I recognize that truck. I recognize the sound of them before they get here. As you can see across the street over, can you see my finger? Over there, that's the Canadian's house. He's not here, but what he does, I think, he's got friends up in Canada, and he allows them to stay at his house when he's not here. I've never talked to him or anything. I just know the guy that owns, where's my finger at? That car inside the garage, that's a Volvo. He's been here before, and if you guys think that I'm a perfectionist or I'm a little bit neurotic on some things, he's got me beat. He washes that car inside and out literally every day. He'll pull that thing out in the driveway and he'll just wash it, and then the doors will be open, he'll be inside, then he'll pull it back in the garage. And even if he doesn't take the car anywhere, he'll pull it out again the next day and wash it and put it back in the garage. It's like, man, it's a Volvo, so I know it's, you know, it's a little higher end car, but come on. Whoops. I shouldn't be making fun of people, right? I know I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. Yeah. We are figuring on, or I am. Sue never knows what I'm doing. Just like my people that work with me on the W&L show, they never know what we're going to do. I know you guys think I'm lying, but I'm not. Sue even has no idea what the games are. When the lady gives them to me, they're in a folder, and I look at them, and I'll get her email next day or whatever and let her know I'm going to use this one, I'm going to use that one, or if I got a problem, I'll call her, say, you know, how we're going to do this or whatever. And Sue never knows. She'll tell you right now. She has no idea what the games are going to be. I want it to be a surprise to everybody. She don't know what the show's going to be. She knows what the concept is. I'm going to talk about maybe a couple of things in the Brownwood area, which on this month's show, actually, I don't think I've got really much new news on the Brownwood area, none that I've seen anyway. I've been down there, and I really haven't seen anything new going on. But there is one thing I want to talk about on the show. For me, it'll be a quickie. That's what she said. I can't help it. Whenever anybody says anything that's what she said would work, it's like, I got to get it out. It's in there. I got to get it out. Oh, gosh. Finney right now is where the action's at. That's where all the building's going on. That's where people are moving in. That's where all the stuff's at. And Judy lives down there, so I can use her. Linda lives down there. But the problem with Linda is she's never here. She's here, she's gone, she's here, she's gone. So I can't use her full time a lot because I like to get actual pictures. I like to get actual pictures or short video clips of something going on down there. And Judy's pretty good about that. She sends them to me. I've got them downloaded. They're in my system. You know, when I bring the pictures up for you to see, for her to talk about. She's done this before. She's getting pretty good at it now. She kind of knows what we expect. The only difference on this show is Melody's not going to be there, and Deb's not going to be there, and the framework of everything to me is going to be off kilter. I don't know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. It's still in the air. I'm still thinking about things. How are we going to start the show, and what subjects do we talk about, and whatever. So anyway, getting back to the solar guys. I'm rambling again. Is this what happens when you get old? You just ramble? God. Yeah, I had them come on because I've had so many people tell me, oh, you can't do this because of the solar. You can't do that because of the solar. And then here's some other rumors that I've heard, that the federal government gives you a big kickback if you get solar put on your house. The electric company buys all the electricity. It's metered, and so however much electricity you produce on your solar screens, the electric company buys that back to where your electricity in your house is actually almost free. I've heard that. I don't know if any of that's true. And what else was it? The state gives you a rebate on some stuff or something. Well, I'm finding out that some of that is true. It depends on which state you live in. Like California's rules about solar is totally different than Florida's rules about solar, which could be totally different than Wisconsin's rules about solar. We're going to get into that because all these guys doing all this talking around here and spreading all these stories, it might be true from the state that they're in, but we're going to talk about the rules here in Florida. We're not going to be talking about the rules in Maine, Vermont, Washington. That doesn't apply here. So we're going to talk about solar in Florida, what the rules are, what you can expect. Is it going to cost you money to get it installed? Do you have to buy the equipment and they install it for free? I don't know any answer to any of these. I mean, I'm as dumb about this as anybody. But if you've got questions, be on the show, shoot them in the chat. My moderators are going to be alerted about it. I think now that I got a special program inside my system now that I can put a pin on your questions to where, in other words, I won't forget them. I can go back and look for those pinned chats. So we're going to do our best. Hopefully we get them all. One suggestion I might make, it might help, is if you are a YouTube member, your name comes up in green. And I can look at that and I can see it. I'm going to be honest with everybody. My Patreon members, I kind of know who most of them are. I'm going to take their questions before anybody else if I see them. My YouTube members, because they come up in green, I can see them right away. I'm going to take them too, fast. but if you send me a $2 or $5 or $10 super chat and you've got a question in there, guaranteed that question is going to get asked. I got to get the money somehow to buy the gifts. I'm sorry. I know that sounds awful, but that's it. We're going to grab them when we can grab them. Good Lord. I am getting way behind here. Is my audio okay? When I look at this iPad, I look like I'm too close to the screen. But I got it close because I want to make sure the audio is okay. Somebody sent me an email last time saying that they thought the audio was a little low. That's probably when Sue was here and I turned the thing sideways, because then that makes you can't see what's going on here. It makes it further away from us. But KM, we'll try to get them answers for you. Just make sure you put them in there. Susan Orlandi says we're coming for a lifestyle visit in July. Good for you. Check out that heat. See if you can deal with it. I've always said that. People say I'm coming down for a lifestyle visit in October. That's cool. That's fine. You come down when the weather's cooler. That's fine. You get the idea of what it's like here in the wintertime. But I've always said, if you're on a budget of some kind, or if you just you're still working and you only get vacations every so often, you really want to come down July and August, maybe June too, I don't know, the heat of the summer. That's what you really want to know if you're talking about being a full-timer. If you're not talking about being a full-timer, you're going to be a part-timer, a snowbird, it doesn't make any difference when you come down. But if you're going to be a full-timer, you want to come down here and check out the summer weather and the summer heat. Because there's a lot of people, when you get older, you just have problems. And you may not be able to take this summer heat. And I've always said, what's the use of being in an active adult community if you can't get out and do things in the summer? That's the whole idea of living here, is being able to do things. I mean, I tell you what, Sue loves it here, and I'm not going anywhere. Well, here's a short little story. You know me, I'm good at stories. I promised Deb years ago that I would never move out of the villages as long as Deb and still lived here, because her and Sue were like sisters. I said, I'll never move out of the villages as long as you guys are still living here. Deb's gone now. The thought of moving out of here and going somewhere else occurred to me, but then I just got thinking, what difference does it make? My problem is with the sun and skin cancer, because I'm losing pigmentation a lot. I don't want to go back to the north where there's, snow and all that. I just don't. But if I sell here and move out, what am I gaining? Because I'm going to buy something somewhere else in Florida probably. So I still have the same problem. So I haven't done anything. Thus, the awning was installed to shade this whole area here. I mean, I hope some of this is kind of maybe making a little bit of sense to you of why I do what I do. Listen, getting old sucks. It just does. But come on down, Susan. You'll love it. You'll have a good time. I don't know where your lifestyle visit's going to be. You're probably going to be at Christopher Villas down there in the Finney area, or are you going to be, what is it called, Atkins Villas or something like that up here by Brownwood? Um, yeah. I tell you what, the one if you do a lifestyle visit, I can't recommend which one to go to, but I will tell you, I think the one at Brownwood is better for one reason. You can literally walk to Brownwood from the lifestyle homes they have across the street from Brownwood, and that's where restaurants, the town squares, and all that. Okay, but I will say that if you're going to buy a brand new home here, and you know you're going to buy a brand new home, you probably should do a lifestyle visit in the Finney area because that's where all the new building is at. But let me just say also, if you're driving your car here, and that don't really make that much difference anyway, but I'm going to say if you're driving your car here, staying at Brownwood is also good because a car drive to Finney area is like not very far at all. It's just down the road, really. And that would be cool also. So you could have the best of both worlds. You can get a golf cart down there from where you're at. I don't really recommend that too much for new people because the golf cart trails can be a little confusing. And it's not if, it's you will. You will get lost. But don't panic. Just pull off in the grass somewhere. Somebody will stop and say, hey, are you lost? You need help? I mean, that's what they do. So you'll be okay. They'll be able to point you the right direction. But like Bushki Potamus says, I don't know how long you're going to be here for your lifestyle visit. A week, probably, give or take. That's just going to give you a small taste of what the lifestyle is here. And remember this Sue said this a long time ago, and it made a lot of sense on anything you'll ever hear about the villages. You can watch all these YouTube channels about look at this new home, look at that new home, all this stuff. It's all the same. No matter who does the video, basically, it's all the same. You're buying a lifestyle here more than anything. You're not really buying a home. You can buy these homes anywhere. They don't have to be in here. Across the street over there, they're not even part of the villages. I showed them on my video. Well, you guys probably haven't seen them yet. They're on Patreon right now. There's a bunch of brand new homes over there, and they look like these homes. The neighborhoods look like this neighborhood, but it's not part of the villages. It's just across the street from the villages. So you can buy these homes anywhere. You're actually buying a lifestyle. The golf, the tennis courts, the pickleballs, I don't even know how many swimming pools we got now. 160 or so? I don't even know. I mean, it's a lot. That's what you're buying more than anything is the lifestyle, the rec centers. Everything that goes with the villages is what it is. And that is more anything, that is what makes your home worth what it's worth. Well, Susan, when you get down here, I don't know when you're coming down. Oh, you said June or July, right? Yeah. Well, give me an email or something. Maybe I can meet you guys down there for a beer or something. One of my favorite places to go and talk and have a beer or a drink or a sandwich or whatever is June or July. A lot of people like to sit inside because that's where the air conditioning's at. But I don't mind going to Gators. It's kind of like it's a sports bar basically. But for some reason, Gators is a lot quieter inside than most places, and it's not a bad place to sit and talk. You can hear each other. I've met a lot of people at Gators. Indoors and outdoors makes no difference. Outdoors, believe it or not, is a little noisier than it is indoors because you got the street traffic. And there's always them Harley bike riders that's got to come through there with no muffler, causing all kinds of ruckus. Where inside, you don't really hear any of that. So yeah, give me an email. We'll meet you if you want to. If not, if you're busy, because I realize if you're here for a week, you're going to have a lot to see and a lot to do, and you may not have any time. Lisa from St. John, Indiana says, love watching your videos. Make sure you're subscribed, Lisa. Seriously, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. Nobody has to do anything if they don't want to. But once I find that setting on YouTube, if you want to continue making remarks in the comment part of a live stream like this, you have to be subscribed, because once I find that setting, if you're not subscribed, you won't be allowed to put a comment in. So I'm just giving you a heads up, that's all. Now, this probably ain't going to happen for a couple of months. I got to get it figured out, but I will be looking. And you'll enjoy October. October's a good month. It's the humidity goes away a lot in October, especially the last 2 weeks in October. The last 2 weeks in October, first 2 weeks in November are probably, in my opinion, the best 4 weeks down here in a row. The last 2 weeks of November is when the weather starts to turn to cold, and it stays that way. You get warm and cool and warm and cool. You know how it goes. But those 4 weeks are really, for me anyway, when I have guests that want to come down in the winter for a week or two, or they're going somewhere like Orlando to Disney World, they want to stop by for a day or whatever. If they always ask what's the best time to go down, I always tell them last 2 weeks in October, first 2 weeks in November, also the best time to go to Disney World. Just letting you know. William Rizzo, I didn't even see you on here just now, buddy. Have a good day, man. He lives down in Key West. Life could be worse, right? Susan said they'll be staying in Brownwood. That's a good place. It really is. They got two areas there that they were using for lifestyle visits. I don't know if they're still using both areas or just the one area. What's it called? Atkins? Something like that. I think that's where the lifestyle visits are at, is there. But when you go down that road, you'll see it when you get there. Your grocery store is literally next door to you. There's restaurants and stuff right there next door to you in that shopping plaza. There's a liquor store there also. You know, if you want to get a beer, bottle of wine, or whatever, it's right there to take home. And then, of course, you got the square across the street. You got 2J's there. You got restaurants all up and down. You'll see it. It's not a bad place to stay. By the way, when you get here, if I'm here, give me a shout, an email, or something, and I'd like to come down if you're staying at a lifestyle visit home, which you are, I assume, and I'd like to do the day that you're going to leave or the day before you leave. Give me a shout. I'd like to come down and do a video. You don't have to be in it, inside your home, so I can show other people what the lifestyle homes look like. I also would like to get an inside look of some of the lifestyle homes in Christopher villas down there, because Christopher is where they're putting lifestyle visits in there too. I don't think I've got any in there yet, but I'd like to do some in there. Lisa Moore, oh, vitiligo, that's it, Muscupotamus, thank you. Vitiligo, that's what I've got. There's nothing I can do about it. My doctor calls it Michael Jackson disease. I'm sorry. I like doctors with a weird sense of humor. And that's what I've got. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing, there's no shot, there's no medicine, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Except try to protect yourself with sunscreen and all this and that. And I did all that. But I'm telling you, it's once you're in the sun for a few minutes, none of that really helps all that much. It really doesn't. You just have to stay out of it. And down here in Florida, that's a challenge. Hey, Kevin. I see Kevin's on here. How you doing, buddy? How's that grandbaby doing? I keep losing my place here. My screen keeps moving, and I don't know why. Here we go. I think I'm back where I need to be. Okay. Lisa says, I love the new area around Finney, but husband loves more north between Brownwood and Lake Sumter. It's a good area, but I will give you a fair warning that I would try to get as close to Lake Sumter as I could. Halfway between Lake Sumter and here, and I can't think of the name of it. I want to say the name of the village is Sunset Point, or is it the other one? Anyway, if you're coming down, drive down that road. And I want you to, here's what I want you to look at. If you're heading south toward Finney, keep looking to your left. If you're heading north from Brownwood to Lake Sumter, keep looking to your right. There's a little sign there, and you won't see the place. It's up a hill. They got bushes planted all the way around it, but there's a sign. That's the water waste treatment plant there. And twice a year, they clean that place out. And that whole area up there for a couple of days or so smells like a sewer. It just stinks to high heaven. Um, I don't know if they ever got that figured out. I found that out by accident one time before we bought this house, because I love the Lake Sumter area. I do. And they had a house there for sale that was well below market. And I happened to see it. And I told Sue, let's go look. So we called my real estate buddy. We went up there. We found this home. And while I'm looking at this house, I got a whiff of something. And I asked my buddy, I said, what is that? Is that a broken sewer line or something? He goes, no, it's probably the waste treatment plant. It's just right over there. I said, well, I didn't know that. He said, well, I thought you knew that. I said, no. He said, well, he's let you know. They clean that out twice a year. And this is where I got the information I just give you. And this has been 8 years ago he told me this. And that made that house not acceptable for me at all. I'm not gonna deal with that. So just know that. That's all I'm saying. Just know that. Stay away from that. Susan says, I really like Finney. Well, if you really like it, here's what I would recommend, Susan. I don't know if your husband has really noticed Finney much lately. Uh, it takes time. I said this years ago when they first started building Finney, of all the stuff that I seen that they were planning that I knew about. And I knew there was a lot of things that I didn't know about, and nobody else knew about them. But rumors run wild around here, and where these rumors get started from is beyond me. But I knew that they were going to do some new and exciting things there that they've never done anywhere else. Example of that, the best example I can give to that right now is Sawgrass. That's nothing like that anywhere else. That is not a square. People keep calling it that. I told them 2 years ago that was not going to be the fourth square. And then I kept getting emails from people saying, well, that is the fourth square. If you would read, they'd insult me. They say, if you'd read and you would pay attention to what they're saying, they're telling you that's the fourth square. And I would say, in a polite way, I say, no, you're interpreting what they're saying, and that is not going to be a fourth square. That's going to be an entertainment area. And it's going to be a great one, and it is. It's going to be a great one. And also, what else was it? Edna's on the Green. They kept saying that they thought maybe that was going to be a square area there. I said, no, I don't think so. That's just going to be a gathering point kind of, like, and it is. And I've been there, and it's a nice little area. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But all that's new. The Sawgrass area, the idea of what that is new. You don't see that anywhere in the villages. Edna's on the Green is fairly new. You don't see nothing like that anywhere else in the villages. You got things you might be able to compare it to, but you won't see nothing like that. And then they announced the four square, which I said back 2 years ago. I said they have to give you a four square because part of the agreement with the Wildwood Commission was they had to provide a town square similar to the town squares that already existed. Now, they never ever said they had to be exactly like that. They kept saying similar to. But just that wording to approve the permits for building told me there's going to be a fourth town square, and that was the big secret. Villages wouldn't let it out. where it was going to be, what the idea was, nothing. That for some reason they kept that a big secret. Because I know when I bought this house, we all knew where the town square was going to be. They announced that like the first thing that we knew it was going to be down there, and then now they keep it a secret. Mr. Potamus says, great, walking distance to the best town square. Brownwood is a good town square. Um, I think best is a matter of opinion because Lake Sumter's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with what I'm doing. We're just chatting, right? One of my subscribers and friend, I've met him. He's a Patreon member. He comes to our Patreon lunches when we have them, and he's also an RVer. Maybe that's why I connect with him a little bit. He's actually got his RV stored over at the same place I got mine stored. Um, Dave Dempsey says, I'm at the dentist. Pray for me. I feel for you, Dave. I hate going to the dentist. I know it's something we have to do. I just hate going, and I know everybody else probably does too. We all have our problems with dentists, don't we? Here's the biggest problem with the dentist is you never know what the bill is going to be till you leave, and the insurance doesn't pay for any of it. Susan Orland says, we love the Porch Settin. Thanks, Susan. Appreciate it. I thought I'd do this today. It's my way of relaxing a little bit. Everything in there is pretty well set up for the WNL live show tonight. And this kind of almost getting to be a routine for me to come out the night of the show and just sit back and talk with you guys because it's relaxing for me. Kind of gets my mind off of what's going on in there and thinking of all the problems we may have, and so I come out here and talk to you guys because I kind of enjoy it. It's a way I can connect with you, and then hopefully maybe get a few more new subscribers. Busky Potamus says the Villages is paradise. I have been here for almost 2 years and love it more every day. I'll tell you what, it's not for everybody. I've never said it's for everybody, but you can live in a hell of a lot worse places. I mean, you can argue, and I do. I bring the points up because I just want people to understand none of this is free. We're all paying a price for things to be the way it is, to be as clean as the Villages is. That comes with the price. To have all the activities that we have, that comes with the price. Have all the amenities that we've got with rec centers and sports pools and tennis courts and golf cart trails and all these things, that all comes with a price. My pet peeve about all that is, and I don't think I'm wrong, and I'm not belly aching, I don't appreciate it when somebody wants to trespass on my property. And I'm not talking about dogs. As village residents, I look at this community as we all own this, and we are all supporting this. And then somebody wants to buy a house next door to the Villages, and they got a golf cart, and then they want to sneak that golf cart across the road to get on a golf cart path to come in here and enjoy everything we got, but they don't want to pay for it. I kind of take exception to that. I just do. Call me wrong. I don't know, but I just don't think it's right. Oh, Susan says, love your expressions when you do the news. I didn't really realize that I made expressions. Sue told me I did too. I said, "Do I make expressions when I'm doing the news?" I said, when I look at the camera, I know like right now it looks like I'm frowning, right? I'm not frowning. The sun's glaring at me. And so, you do that to kind of, and then sometimes I have a hard time seeing something, and so I squint. And then people say, "Well, he looks angry." I'm not angry. I'm not. But on the news, I do have a tendency now, like this last Friday, it was on purpose. It was something, I never planned it, but as I'm reading it, it just occurred to me that, do you remember Sam Kinison, the comedian, and how he used to come out on stage and he would talk about something in a normal voice, and then all of a sudden he would start talking about something in his life, like his wife divorced him, and then he would get into a yelling, screaming rage. I always thought that was hilarious. That was brilliant of him to do that. It was so funny. Well, when I started reading about this lady who got bilked out of $130,000 from her live-in granddaughter that just got out of prison, and then she got arrested again for child neglect in the same grandma's house again, I just started yelling at grandma, thinking, "What the hell's the matter with you? What are you doing?" You know. So that was on purpose. I realized when I done that, I wonder how many subscribers I just lost if they think I'm crazy now. You gotta wonder. Lily Graham says, "We bought a house in the Villages 9 years ago this May, and it is such a great place to live." It is. I don't know if I can fault living here at all. Price of homes since COVID, uh, for some reason, the so-called supply chain, I guess, I don't know. They have really kind of went through the ceiling for a lot of people, and so that's kind of a shame, really. But I think it's done that everywhere in the state of Florida anyway. If it's a retirement community, prices have went up. The rest of the country, I can't speak for. I know in California, the price of houses are nuts, totally nuts. I was there. I walked around San Diego. I looked at the newspapers out there. I saw houses, one bed. Matter of fact, Linda sent me a picture of one. I'll try to remember what it was. A one bedroom, one bath in San Diego, fixer upper. You hear me? The price tag was $1 million. So California is just nuts. But they're nuts in a lot of ways. I think that's why a lot of people in California are moving out. They're selling their homes, cashing in, so to speak. They're getting out of that crazy state. It's just crazy out there, and it's a shame because California is such a beautiful state. It really is, and they got so many things there, from the southern part of California to the northern part of California. Totally different climates, totally different scenery. And where else can you go skiing in the mountains in the morning and have lunch on the beach in the afternoon? It's just a shame that California is turning into a shithole. And I'm not going to apologize for my language. Whiskey Potamus is talking about the wildlife around here. There is a lot of wildlife around here because we build our houses on their property. That's the way I see it. This was all pasture land, even where I'm at. I'm just as guilty as everybody. But it's progress. I mean, you can't stop it. I mean, people have babies. When mom and dad has, say, I don't know, 5 kids. I'm using that as a number, 5 kids. Well, when mom and dad dies, there's 3 more people on this planet, more than when mom and dad was here. And so more people means more houses. More houses mean more building. I don't know what the answer is to all that. I've always said, and I made a thing in Indiana about it, and boy, did that bring out a big ruckus. I made a statement at a meeting one time in Indianapolis area that the day's coming that we're going to have to stop burying people. We're going to have to come up with alternatives. And boy, everybody in the room just got quiet and turned around and looked and going, "What did he just say?" Well, and my point was this. The country's getting to the point that we can't grow enough food to feed our own people. If something should happen in the world, and this pandemic should have taught people a lot. Should have taught our country a lot. We can't depend on the world to feed us, and right now we are. Meat now comes from Canada, comes from Mexico, and I'm not even sure. Maybe it's even imported in boats from China. I don't know. But a lot of our hamburger now, in my lifetime, comes in batch numbers. Batch numbers. When was the last time that you guys, in your younger days, you bought meat in a batch number? So if there's something bad, they have a recall on a batch number. That's because they take all this meat from all over the country and different countries and they throw it in one big thing, grind it up in a hamburger. It's a batch number. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I just don't know. And we're depending on them to bring meat down here for us to eat. I don't care if you're vegan or not. That's just a fact of what's going on. We're getting oranges from Mexico. We're getting, bananas from South America. We're getting fruit and vegetables from all over the world coming in here. We're getting all kinds of seafood from everywhere in the world coming in here. What if something happens and we keep burying people in prime farm ground? And we keep selling farmland for people, developers like the villages, to build homes to make money. And I can understand a farmer selling the ground because they're making more money in one day than what they might make in that farm in 10 years. But once the houses are built and once the graveyards are there, nothing can be grown anymore. And that was my point. This got to stop sooner or later. You just can't keep doing this. And I offered alternatives. Of course, you got cremation. So many people does that. That's fine. And then there was a thing that somebody had suggested. I do believe in California. And I read that, where they were talking about selling one grave plot for two people. Stack them. That way we use half the amount of ground for the same amount of people. And then I thought the idea of mausoleums was a great idea, especially in certain areas, where you could put 10,000 people in one mausoleum on 1 acre of ground, and you didn't have to have all this stuff. It was alternatives. That's all I was trying to bring up. We just can't keep planting people where we used to plant corn. Eventually, it's going to catch up with us. Anyway, that's me, always trying to cause trouble. Oh my God, Cynthia. 0 degrees in Duluth. She had 20 inches of snow Monday and Tuesday. Ooh. Here the rest of us is talking about spring because it's warm down here right now. Our spring is here. We're probably not going to see any more cold nights now. That's how it works here. The season's just overnight. It'll be 40 degrees one day, 80 the next, and it stays 80. I mean, it's the darndest thing I ever seen. So, yeah, it's spring here. Flowers are growing. Sue planted some new flowers. They replaced our flowers up here at our entry in the roundabout. I think I did video on that the other day. I know Patreon's got it. YouTube may not have it yet. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, so yeah, my yard guy, he's been gone for 3 or 4 weeks. Another thing about lawn care, when you hire a company to take care of your lawn, there are certain times during the year where you don't need your yard mowed because here where I'm at, the grass is dormant. And by the grass being dormant, we don't have to have it mowed. But you still got to pay. See, that's the thing. You still got to pay. He might drive by and look at it, but if it don't look like it needs mowed, he won't mow it. But you still got to pay. So, but he came back 2 weeks ago and mowed it, and he mowed it again this week. So the grass is starting to grow again. Strong woman. Howdy ho. See you, AJ. Did I lose my place again? I have such a hard time. Can't text on live. KM, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, right here. It's on chat. What I was talking about is YouTube now for creators. That's me. They put on a new system on there that I was just told about. I haven't checked it out. Another creator I know sent me this email. And on that system, I can turn it on or turn it off, I guess, or maybe set it up to where when I do a live show, I haven't done this yet. Don't freak out. I haven't done this yet. That I can turn it on or set it up somehow to where if you're not subscribed to my channel, you will not be allowed to make any comments in the chat line on a live show, or like this one, the chat there on the side. If you're not subscribed, you won't be able to do that. And I'm going to turn it on when I figure it out. Probably not till April at the earliest, for reasons that I explained earlier in this video. And I just think that's fair to everybody that is subscribed. And so I am going to turn that on. So I just reiterating, you don't have to do a thing. Nobody can make anybody do anything. You don't have to subscribe. But if you like making comments, you like coming to the W&L show, playing the games and all this and that, you're going to have to be subscribed when I turn that on, or you won't be able to do the pick me, pick me, pick me. You won't be able to do that. Albert Marcianda says, I am a member and not in green. Well, you're not a member. Seriously, you think you are. You think you may have signed up. And I can go check and find out, and then maybe I can send you an email or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that if you're not in green, there you are. See how Jerry's is in green? See that pick me button? I'll tell you what, if you're a member, go down there and see if you can click one of them pick me buttons, because those are only available to members only. 1952 Toot says, what do the wrenches symbol next to people's name indicate? They're a moderator. I make people moderators. Like Melody was a moderator, so I lost a moderator. Deb is a moderator. She still is a moderator. I'm going to leave her as a moderator because you never know when she may come on the show in the background and watch the show, and then she could be a moderator. Here's what moderators do. They usually welcome people to the channel. Watch WrestleMania, watch Jerry Bell. They're pretty good at it. Kevin Jacquet, he's pretty good at it. They welcome people to the show. If they give a super chat and I miss it, they will thank them. I generally get pretty good at welcoming all the super chats and stuff. Yeah, if somebody gets on there and wants to act stupid, like a kid that can't go to school because he done something dumb, and mom works all day and he gets on her computer, so he gets on there and he wants to type stupid stuff in there, they can kick him off permanently. And that's the power of a moderator. They can kick you off. Other than that, I'm the one that has to kick you off. But when I'm poking buttons and trying to do a show, I haven't got time to watch everything on that moderator. Here lately, I'll tell you what we've had trouble with. I kicked 2 of them off permanently, but I don't know how many more there might be. Is on our show, we've been getting somebody from Russia posting their website on there, which is a porn website. So as soon as we see them, they're gone for good. But God, there could be a million of them. And I don't even know why I'm getting them all of a sudden. I never had them before. But anyway, we see them. All my moderators know, for good, go. If it's written in some kind of foreign language, get them out of there. They're gone. Other thing is because I try to keep the channel light and fun. We don't talk politics. So if somebody gets on there and makes a comment about, this or that, you might get a warning once, and then the second time you're kicked off. And you go to YouTube jail. And you end up staying in YouTube jail till I come back and let you out of jail. And usually how that happens is, because I don't know who gets put in jail by the moderators half the time, is I'll get an email saying, hey, I've been making comments and for some reason they're not showing up. What's going on? And I thought, I don't know. Hold on a minute. Let me go check. I go check the jail. There he is in jail. And then I come back and tell him, hey, look, I don't know what happened. I don't know what they put you in jail for, but there must have been a reason. I'll take you out of jail this time, but try not to make the same mistake. And I let it go at that. Give him a second chance. But yeah, we don't talk religion very much, and we don't talk politics because look, everybody's got their own opinions about those two things. I'm not going to convince anybody different anyway. You're not going to convince anybody different in any way. And it just ends up being an argument. People are yelling back and forth, and don't think they don't because I watch them do it here in the villages. McGinty, you've seen my report. A guy like McGinty, he's not the only one here. And some of these political people are just crazy in the head, as far as I'm concerned. Listen, I got my opinions, and McGinty's got his. But his problem is he thinks he's right and everybody else is wrong, and that's why we don't do it. Hey, Phil B., where you been, buddy? I haven't seen you for a week or so. You been down Texas? Been up in Ohio? What you been doing? Oh, yeah, there's something else. If you notice, Jerry, I'm behind, I know, but Jerry puts a comment. This is something else moderators do. They try to remind people because they always forget. He says, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, you can hit the thumbs up button, the like button, whatever you want to call it, and that kind of thing. That helps the channel out because the more of them I get per video, the more YouTube recommends that video to other people. And then that's what brings in more and more subscribers, which we all need them. Why do I need more subscribers? The truth is, the subscribers, having a lot of subscribers don't make you a dime as far as money goes. It's the view time. If you get a video out there, and then let's say in 24 hours, that video got 100,000 views, that's money. The viewing, they're watching it, and the commercials are on there. So if you watch the video, they're getting paid for them commercials. I get paid for them commercials. And that's the difference. The difference between, I think, my channel and almost everybody else's channel is I keep literally none of that money. I give it all back to you guys through gifts on the WNL. And you guys don't even know how much stuff I give away on Patreon and YouTube members. I'll just put a video in there, and in that video, I might do something like I'll hold up a book and say, hey, anybody want this book? I'll send it to you. The first person that emails me, I do this a lot. First person that emails me, I'm going to send you this book absolutely free. And so that's what we do. So I give away a lot. And I do use some of that money to upgrade my cameras. My GoPro 7, I think, is kind of getting on its last leg. I use it so much. I'm going to miss that camera, and I've got to upgrade it. Well, to get another GoPro camera, kind of like that, because you can't get that anymore, I have to get a GoPro 10. I don't know if you guys keep up with the prices on some of these cameras, but they are just getting phenomenally high to get a quality camera, and I do try to get a quality camera. And then you got to buy the accessories, the little brackets to put them on your car, because all the cameras they're like your phone. The cord that charges your phone. Do you ever notice one phone takes one cord, the other phone takes another cord? GoPros are the same way. Batteries are different. Everything's different. And so you get into a little bitty GoPro camera. I can get $800 or $900 wrapped up in one little GoPro camera. Crazy, right? Woody says, I notice when I chat that my little button is brown. Am I subscribed to everything? I don't know. Your color of your button doesn't have anything to do with being subscribed. You have to hit the, I don't know what yours is. Everything's different. Your cell phone is going to be different. Your TV is going to be different. Your laptop computer is different. But on everything that I've got, and I can only assume it's the same as everybody else, is that the subscribe button is red, right? And then when you click that, this is one of the changes they made in the last few years. Mine turns kind of gray, right? Yeah, hit that, it turns gray. But as soon as you hit subscribe, here's the thing. When you hit subscribe, there's a list of choices that comes up. No, you hit the subscribe. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. You hit the subscribe, the red button turns gray, or at least mine turns gray. Next to that, there's a bell. That's a notification bell. You hit the notification bell, and then a little column choice of things comes up, like 3 choices. One says all, the other one says none, and now I forget the other one is part-time or whatever. You want to click the all. Make sure there's a check mark in all. That's it. What that means is you subscribe to that channel, whether it be mine or somebody else's. You subscribe to that channel, click all, and that means that every time they put up a video, every time that person comes on live, you're going to be notified about all of it. So that's what it is. If you're not getting notified, and if you hit the subscribe button, which if it turned brown, you say brown, I think it's gray. If you hit that, then you're probably subscribed, but you probably didn't hit that notification bell, and you didn't click all. That I'm guessing here. Somebody asked me in an email last night saying that the search for a house here is getting very, very difficult because we're getting so big. And you are exactly right. I can see where it would be a challenge. When we bought our first house, Lake Sumter and Spanish Springs was the only 2 squares. And so ours was a little easier, I suppose. I knew I was going to be a snowbird at that time. I already had it in my head, I'm going to be a snowbird. So that narrowed it down even more. We knew we were probably going to get a 2-bedroom something, a 2-bedroom patio villa, 2-bedroom courtyard villa, something like that, easy to take care of. And I ended up buying a patio villa, which, I'll be honest with you, the neighborhood we were in, where it was at, the location and everything, it was great. Renting this thing out, easy peasy, every year. Same people rented it out all the time. I did this story before. It was perfect for us. We did great with it. Well, then things changed, and then we decided to be here full time, and so we had to get rid of that, and then bought this, and it's just you don't know what to do. But I learned a lot by having that house. That house was close to our neighborhood recreation center, which had pickleball courts. And every day that I sit out in the lanai on a day like today, the lanais on patio villas are in front of the patio villas up there. And it had an enclosed lanai. So I slide the windows back. Now remember, I'm coming from Indiana where it's cold. I come down here in November, Thanksgiving, take 2 weeks to come down here, and it's like this. I'm enjoying it, right? Cold weather up there. It's 80 degrees here with a breeze. I'm enjoying it. You got the windows open, breeze coming through. And I heard that pickleball all day long. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. All day long. All day long. And I just put up with it. I mean, you can always put up with something when you're part-time. But it did put a question in my head. Do I want to listen to that if I come down here full-time? And I'm in my mind, no, I don't. So our recreation center is like right over there. They're playing pickleball right now. You don't hear nothing. Our mailbox and neighborhood pool is right over there. I can walk there. I mean, I love that part because who likes to walk? And then Brownwood is about a 6 or 7 minute golf cart ride to get to downtown Brownwood. And I'm just far enough away from it that we don't hear anything. We don't hear the music at night. I can sit out here at night. We had people here the other day sit out here. Didn't hear nothing. So I knew where I wanted to be. At that time, I played golf a lot. That was my number one thing. That was my priority, golf. I wanted to be somewhere where there's a lot of executive courses and maybe a country club fairly close to me. When you get to map out and look where Hillsboro is, and it's just not Hillsboro, you got Dunedin, what's the other one called? The village of Dunillion or something like that. There's all kinds of places around here. We're all in the same kind of area. There's like 8 or 9 different executive courses right here around me. And there's like there's 2 country clubs real close to me. A third country club, which would be Belle Glade. It's a little bit of a drive to get over there in my golf cart, but I can be at Belle Glade in, I'm going to say 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. So I got 3 country clubs around me and like 8 or 9 or 10 executive courses. Sue's priority was she wanted to be able to walk to the mailbox. My priority about that was I want to be within a 10-minute golf cart ride to a square. We had these priorities. But when you get the map out and draw them circles with a compass, that put me right where I wanted to be. So I've always advised people, kind of know what it is you want to do when you get here. Are you a golfer? Do you want to go to the pool every day? Do you like to do pickleball every day? Just kind of know what you want to do. Do you want to go dancing every day at the square? And that'll help your search a lot, no matter what square, no matter wherever you go. You go to Spanish Springs, you go to Finney, it makes no difference, anywhere in between. That'll narrow your search down a lot, just to kind of know what it is you think you want to do. Major things, not the little things. I'm not talking about like playing cards with the neighbor every Thursday. Who cares? You can live anywhere and do that. I'm talking about the major stuff where you have to go to an amenity to do it. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? Guys, I'm seeing all kinds of reports on here about snow and sleet and hail. Oh my gosh. Mimi Alf says, hi, Skip. Hi, Mimi. Ain't seen you for a while either. Now, Mimi Alf, I believe, is a member also. If you guys see her on the chat, her name also is not in green. I don't know why that is, but I know she's a member, and I'll tell you why. Look to the right of her name. Do you see that little round thing there? I put them on the members things where it tells me that they're a member. So I have to check on some of this and see what's going on here because, hey, I'm not a computer whiz, but I know she's a member because she's got that thing right there. And that tells me, there's like 5 or 6 of them. When you're a 1-month member, you get this symbol. When you're a 2-month member, you get that symbol. When you get a 3-month member, you get this symbol. And so by seeing that, I know she's a member. Yeah, KM. I don't understand this stuff about these people having all these juvenile delinquents that want to live down here. I mean, my God, it's a retirement community. Does somebody forget what that word means? I mean, you got a 25-year-old that's getting arrested for drunken and shoplifting and everything else. What did he retire from? It just don't make sense to me. I'm a waving. I don't know who it is, but I'm a waving. I just don't get it. My neighborhood was new. We didn't have that. And we've had like 60 homes in the last couple of years change hands for one reason or another. And I see people all the time running around here, and I don't know who they are. Apparently the neighbors next door are gone, and they had somebody coming and taking their dog out for a walk while they're gone. And I saw this girl over here yesterday too, but I didn't think anything about it. And so, and it may, she may be visiting. I'm not saying that. She may just be visiting for a couple of weeks and then she'll be leaving. Because we are getting close to that time where the spring breakers are going to start showing up. So she might be a spring breaker from school and then she'll disappear. But I make little snide comments sometimes. I probably shouldn't do that. I probably just need to keep my mouth shut. But when I see somebody like that around here, after about 3 or 4 days, I just kind of wonder, somebody's grandkid living with them? You know, I don't know that they are or they're not, but you've seen in my reports the problem that they bring. This last lady, $130,000 she embezzled from her grandmother's account because grandma let her live with her, and she came straight from a federal prison to grandma's house, and grandma let her move in. My dad had a saying, put a blister on your ass, you're going to sit on it. I know what that means. Cynthia Armatrano says, I just want to be warm. uh, we've all been there. That's why we're here. I don't know if you guys knew the story, but up north I was still working, and we had a large wraparound deck on our house, and we had like was it 1, 2, 3 steps to go down to our driveway to walk out to the end of the driveway to get the mail. Sue did the mail thing. Apparently overnight we had an ice storm or a little bit of freezing rain. She didn't catch it, and when she went down the steps, she slipped on the step, fell down, and our steps were lined with limestone. And she banged her head on one of them limestones. And I can remember coming to the bedroom because I slept during the day because I drove a truck at night. And she woke me up, and it was dark in there, and I couldn't really see. And but I could tell she wasn't talking right. And I turned the light on, and she had blood running down the side of her head. She had banged her head, and I jumped up, took her to the emergency room, and they X-rayed her. She ended up with a concussion. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with concussions. I'm really not. But she couldn't lay down. If she laid down, she immediately would get almost sick to her stomach. And she did get sick several times. So, and they told me, so you got to keep an eye on her and try to keep her awake and things like that. That's all sounds easy, but it's not, because your body says you're hurt and you just want to go to sleep, and you just can't. And so I took a day off of work to stay home, and by the next day she was 100% better. Things started getting better, and I went back to work. I had to go back to the doctor, and they were checking her, I think, for possible blood clots in the brain. I think that's what they were doing, and everything was clear, so they let her go back home, and we was okay. Shortly after all that happened, though, we were talking with friends or something, and we had this patio villa down here at that time. We already had that. And Sue looked at me. You can always tell when your wife's serious, right? I've lived with her long enough. I know when she's serious. She said, this is the last winter I'm staying here. She said, next winter I'm going down there. She says, so don't rent it out for the winter. I'm going down there for the winter. And I said, well, I'm still working. I'm not going to go down there. And so she looked at me. She said, so you'll know where I'm at when you want me. So I knew that was going to be it for the wintertime renters. And when you're a tight ass like I am, that was at that time, we got $3,250 a month for January, February, and March. The same Canadians rented it every year, January, February, and March. And every November around Thanksgiving time, it was like Christmas going to the mailbox, because you had to pay me for all 3 months at one time. I didn't take monthly payments. They sent me a check for, I don't even remember what it was now, $11,000 or something, and I got it up front. And so by her saying she was coming down here for the winter, I was losing that. And it's like, oh God, that's a hard thing for a guy that has always done things for a profit. It's a hard thing for somebody to give up. Fox's Trader says all the villagers are paying for all the non-villagers too. Yeah, in a lot of ways we are. Now, we all have rights for guests. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying that. The guests are not villagers, no. But they are your guest. And so you get a guest pass. I've got 2 guest passes in here right now for the people we give the house to for the month I'm going to be gone. They're going to be staying here. We already got them their guest pass, and they're in there for them to use. And they have access to a lot of stuff with those passes. So we're not talking about them. We're talking about people that don't live here, and they sneak in here all the time with their golf carts, and they want to use our trails. Here's the tricky part about that. The tricky part is some of our golf cart trails are actually on the public road. So we're sharing the road with a car. You've seen my videos, and you'll see cars past me. That's a public road. They're open to the public. That part of our golf cart trails, I don't think you can keep private because it's on a public road. And I don't know the law. I'm just saying from what I see, that's a public road. So if somebody wants to put a golf cart on there, you can't stop them. But where that golf cart trail ends on that public road, and you have to go off to the right or to the left to get on a golf cart path, there's a difference. Now you're on our property, and you're not a resident, and you should not be on it because we're paying to maintain all that, and you're not, and I just don't think that's fair whatsoever. And they're also clogging up our golf cart trails with more and more people sneaking in here. In the wintertime especially is where you really notice it, that it's hard sometimes to find golf cart parking at a square at night because it's clogged up with golf carts. And it's just not fair. It's just not. But keep in mind, there's a lot of things here that people think is an amenity that we're paying for that we are not paying for, and it's not an amenity. The big one is our town squares. That is not an amenity. The big thing is the entertainment on the town squares. We as residents do not pay for any of that. How that works is the people up there that have businesses, the restaurants, the stores and all that, they pay a fee. And with that fee, that's what pays for the entertainment on that square. And then also, it used to be, I don't know if it still is or not, that the village's companies used to get tourism money from the state of Florida and Sumter County to help pay for some of that stuff there. I don't know if they still get that or not. But as residents, I'm not paying for any of that up there. So that's open to the public. My problem is people sneaking in with golf carts. And they use every excuse in the world to get in here. Oh, but my doctor's over there at that hospital, and I can't drive a car anymore because my eyesight's bad, and I really need to be able to get over to that hospital because my doctor's over there. So I have to drive a golf cart. And they do all that kind of stuff to get special permission, and really they don't. Their doctor may be over there, but once they get that permission to cross that road and get over there in that hospital parking lot, guess what? They have access to everything, and there's nothing you can do about it once they get there. I wish the developer and some of the other agencies here would get together somehow, some way, and I don't know, stop a lot of that. Just stop a lot of it. Because I showed video where people in Wildwood drive their golf cart down here at Brownwood down 44 in the grassy ditch. And they come all the way over to the Brownwood entrance right there, and then they shoot across that 4-lane road to come into Brownwood. Now, I do know that a couple of them got caught. I don't know what that fine is, but I got a feeling that it cost them a lot more than gas in a car to drive down there because they will not allow you to take that golf cart back across that 4-lane road to get home. That ain't happening. They probably towed them in, I don't know, but yeah, you can't do that. But the longer you're here, you're going to see more and more of that. And down to Finney area, they probably haven't seen too much of that right now. But as that grows down there, they're going to have a family park down there. They're going to have all kinds of other stuff. Apartments will be built down there. I think I did see an approval for at least one major apartment complex down there. I don't remember where, but I think we reported that. So they're going to see some things down there in the future that they don't see now. Hopefully that their district council down there, their supervisors down there, can take issue to that stuff now before it really starts to happen. I don't know. One thing I'd like to see is our adult pools here that's for residents only. I'd like to see that changed to a fingerprint entrance. I know it exists here. I've been to other retirement communities that have that. They say it's going to cost a lot of money. I don't care. That's their problem, not my problem. We pay the money to support everything here. $100 million for that, $10 million for this. I don't care what it costs to put that thumb fingerprint thing on that gate and everybody else's gate in our District 10. I can't speak for other districts. I'm not. I'm speaking for District 10. We can afford it. They need to put these thumbprints on these guest-only places to where you put your thumb in a finger on there, and it unlocks the door and lets you in. If you're not a resident here, your thumbprint don't mean anything. But even as a guest, I was a guest at another retirement community where you go in to get your card, and as a guest, they have a thumbprint thing right there, and they register that in your guest account. So your guest has a date you're going to leave. On that date, or the next day of that date, your thumbprint automatically goes away. Kind of like a hotel room. The key works today, but then that key don't work tomorrow. It's kind of like that. And so I know it can be done. The excuses they have here to not do it is beyond me, is why they don't do that. Because I know that what I'm complaining about, other people are complaining about it. Nothing is just being done about it. Hey, Mimi Alpha, do you still live here? Seems to me last time I talked to you, wasn't there a while back you were talking about moving out and going to another retirement community for your reasons? Or was that somebody else? Let me know. Are you still here in the villages? Rock Gardening, so you thought about posting ahead? No, not really. This is one of them things that I just kind of do at the spur of the moment. And posting ahead of time, I don't want to do that because then I'm obligated. You know, I posted something out there that I'm going to do, and then, you know, and then something comes up around the house here, and then all of a sudden it's in my head, so no, I can't do that because no, I got to do this. Where if I do it at a random, it gives me the freedom at the last minute if I want to. I can just change my mind because nobody knows anyway. And so I think I'm just going to leave it random the way it is. I got 140 on here right now. So these are my loyal people. They come to the channel when I do this, and I'm good with that. I just like to get together with people and just finding out what they're doing and how they're doing, and who's moved in, who's moved out, who had snow last night, which I just found out, and that kind of thing. That's all. I just what are you interested in? And then basically today was a good day because, like I say, this kind of relaxes me from the pressures of doing the W&L show in there. And I've been in there since this morning, and I worry about that show. I know you might think it's stupid, but I actually do. I worry about it doing right and everything going right and all this and that. So, and I'm two people short now. Melody's passed, Linda's gone, and so, you know, the show's got to be different, and I don't know which way to take it. I don't know how it's going to work. I think it'll be okay, but there's a lot of unanswered questions here now of what's going on. I think Judy will help out with the Finney area. I don't know that she wants to do it full time. When full time, it's 1 day a month, but still, I don't know that, and it's up to her. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So I come out here to sit and relax, have my coffee, and just enjoy the weather and talk to you guys. It just makes me feel better. Karen Voller says, "Hey, Skip." Mimi Alf says, "Yes, she still lives here." Okay, must have been somebody else then. Wish I could remember who it was. They had a house in a neighborhood. I want to say somewhere down in the Finney area, and apparently this person had and it happens here. I don't talk about it very much because I can't point my finger. And neighborhoods change every few years. Your neighbors move out, move in, they just move. But she moved in an area down there and had the worst neighbors. Worst. She was emailing me this stuff, pictures. And I go, man, I don't know. I said, man, I never heard of such a thing. So anyway, she hated it. And then I just simply said, you know, I've always said that the Villages isn't for everybody. And maybe it's not the Villages, maybe it's just that neighborhood. You know, I said, if you want to give it a couple of years, the odds are half of your neighbors are going to disappear in 2 years. They're going to sell off, buy something bigger, buy something smaller, but over to another neighborhood. That's just what they do. And I said, but if you can't, I mean, because everybody here is elderly. How long do you want to wait before life is good? I mean, that's the thing. So this person just had enough of it, and whoever it was, I think they ended up moving to a village, a village over here on the other side of 441. It's a Dale Webb community. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I think they ended up moving over there, and they loved it there a lot better than here. Oh yeah, I see somebody here is talking about joining. And says they don't have a subscribe button or something. Look, I don't know how you're doing it or what you're doing it. People does things different ways. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, you have to come to my channel. I don't think you can subscribe to my channel if you're watching me on some other format. And I don't know all the different formats. But you got to go to YouTube. And then you have to come to my channel. And my picture will be on there probably with a little red thing that says live. Click on that. Be on my channel. The chat is live right there. And that's the subscribe button and the bell you want to hit. Don't do it on, I don't even know what there is, but there's all kinds of stuff out there. And yeah, I don't know if you can subscribe to my channel using this other stuff. Truth is, I don't think you can. Like when I'm on StreamYard, that's the system I use for the show. I don't think you can subscribe to me on StreamYard. You have to go to YouTube. Here's another one, Facebook. Sometimes I put the show live on Facebook, trying to draw in some more subscribers. And people all the time will chat with me on Facebook. They'll say that they can't subscribe or where's the subscribe button. You can't do it on Facebook. You have to come to YouTube. I'm always telling people, hey, if you're watching me on Facebook and you're not subscribed, you want to subscribe, you're going to have to come to YouTube channel. It's easy peasy. It's not hard to come to YouTube. If you can go to Facebook, going to YouTube is just as easy. Phil Beard says, next Patreon launch. Well, Phil, we decided in February, this month, we can't do it. Just running out of time, buddy. Sue was going to try to take care of it. She was going to work with Ann, setting one up somewhere. I left it up to them because I had other stuff to do. And then as we got a week into it and then 2 weeks into it, I had some repairs I had to do on the motorhome. I had to order some parts. Oh gosh, I can't even think of what all. Videos. I'm trying to get some videos videoed, not really edited or anything, and put them on my memory cards and take them with me, so I'll at least have some video that I can upload once in a while we're gone, and just stuff like that. And then of course the W&L show getting ready. That's an effort, especially this month because two people is not going to be there. It just got to the point where it's just too much. I told Sue, I said, I'm just not going to be able to make it. If you guys can do the Patreon lunch, I said, you're going to have to go represent me because I just don't think I can make it. And then COVID, it really got to the point when we found out Melody and her boy got COVID in Las Vegas and they were both in the hospital. We found this out like 2 weeks before she passed. And then other people here found out about it. They all had concerns about, well, we always heard it wasn't that bad. So what kind of COVID she got? We didn't know. We figured we didn't know. I don't want to get into this discussion because we don't know anything. That we just canceled the whole thing. We figured there was just too many people. We didn't want to take the chance. So we just didn't do it. So now March is out. I'm not going to be here in March. And if you want to have a Patreon lunch in Rockport, Texas, we can have one. It'll just be you and me. No, Linda. I think Linda's coming down in Rockport. So it'll be you, me, and our spouses, and Linda. So that's it. So maybe April. Maybe we can shoot for April. Hopefully April will be a better month. Something tells me that it's got to get better. This just can't go on forever. John Keller says the guy I work with in New Jersey bought a home in Beaumont Homes behind Lowe's. Yeah, that's the big thing over there. I did a weird video kind of thing. I put the camera on the back of my car, and on my way over to the storage unit to work on the RV, I thought I'd do a little different shot. So it's a background of everything behind me, and then I had a handheld GoPro of everything in front of me, and I was just kind of showing things. One of them was Beaumont area over there, where they're building a new hotel. And I was pointing out the new hotel they're building just outside the villages, and I was showing that whole area over there, showing that that is just outside the villages. 466A is a dividing line right there. And I was explaining how people are wanting to buy over there because they like to have access to a lot of the things inside the villages. They're all open to the public. I mean, they can't use our rec centers, they can't use our swimming pools and things like that, but they go to the town squares, they can go to any of the country clubs and have dinner, they can do all this stuff that's open to the public. And that's it. They want to be able to come over here and use our stuff, and they don't want to pay for anything. But here's the thing, guarantee you, and I guarantee you, as the community gets older, because I've seen it happen in Spanish Springs, people that are buying homes over there, they're all going to end up with things like electric bikes. And they're going to cross that highway. Now, taking a golf cart across that highway is illegal. But I think you can take a bicycle across that highway, and that's legal. And they're going to come into the villages. And they're going to get on our golf cart trails with these electric bikes and regular bicycles and who knows what else. Electric roller skates, electric skateboards are prohibited on our golf cart trails. No skateboards are allowed. But anyway, they're going to be over here. And they're going to be playing games on our golf cart trails, but they're not paying for any of the upkeep on them golf cart trails that they're contributing to tearing up. And that's my argument about it. Look, he's driving around looking for a house for sale. This is that time of year. Let me show you a little something else, Mushkipotamus. I don't know what you're on. Are you on a laptop? Are you on a computer? Or are you doing this on your phone? Because I've always told people, all phones are different. And if you don't see a join button on your phone, you got one of them phones that just doesn't have that stuff. My phone's one of them. I don't have a join button on my phone, but I can still join YouTube, and I'm going to show you how. Listen up. I'm only going to explain this once. There's my show right there. You can see me talking right there. Hope I can get this to show up right. Rest of you show up. Where am I at here? So I can do it. It's over here. Okay. See that little arrow button right there below the picture? Click on that. And it opens up a whole bunch of stuff down here. Okay. Go to the, where am I at here? Go down and you'll see the different links. They're in blue. Different channels I recommend. My merch store, which by the way, those of you that ordered them t-shirts, I appreciate it. You can't order anymore. It's closed. And I'm not going to put any more up till I see the quality of these t-shirts. I ordered one for me too to check it out and see how things work out. So don't go there and try to order something. There's nothing there. It says here, join this channel to get access to perks. It's in blue right there. If you click on that, bingo, it brings up everything. Gosh darn it. It brings up right there. See the join button? Right there. So you can do it. You just have to play with your phone sometimes to figure it out. All them little dots, if they're gray, or say 3 gray dots, you need to click them once in a while where you're at to see what that is, because those are things that you can do. The little bitty arrows that you don't even hardly see. I mean, I know they're hard to see on a phone, but you click them, that generally opens things up. So, you can join. Where am I at here? Doggone it. I hate it when I do stuff like that, because then my phone moves around and I lose it. There we are. So now I want to go back, and I want to go here, right? Where am I at? See, now by explaining that to you, I just lost my chat. There it is. I'm back. It's like sitting out here. Once in a while, if the video gets a little wonky, I can't help it. This is wireless. I really don't like wireless stuff. The router's in the house. I'm sitting outside. And so down here with the snowbirds, there's so many people on Wi-Fi anymore. It's always, in the daytime, is it going to work? Is it going to stay good? I don't know. John Martin, how are you, buddy? Karen Voller. Oh, sorry to hear about that. It's too bad. We wish her well. Mimi Alf says, I had COVID. Says, trust me, it's evil. I'm still having some of the symptoms. It was rough. Well, at least you survived, Mimi. Melody didn't survive. She made it a long while, and I just think after a while, her lungs got so infected with it that what happened, I think she just, hey, done. I think what happened, she just wore out. And, yeah. 55. People argue about how old she was, but I'm pretty sure she was 55 years old. Monica says hi. Say hi to Monica. William Hitt says, are you a frog, or will you eventually move back? Yeah, I definitely am a frog. I don't ever intend to move back. But one thing I've learned in my lifetime, you never say never. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know what kind of health issues I might have 10 years from now. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I mean, these are things I'm just saying. I'm not wishing anything, okay? I don't know how I'm going to feel if Sue passes away tomorrow. I mean, I've never had to experience that. We had a neighbor that bought a house here new. Within a week, he was selling the house because his wife died 2 days after they bought the house. And he said, I just don't want to live there by myself. And he left. I might feel that way. I don't know. So there's a lot of things that's unanswered until something happens, and then you can answer them. And in my situations, you can ask anybody on here that's on this chat that's actually met me. What you see is what you get. I don't put on an act. I wish I could tell you about 2 YouTube channels that everything that they do is an act. This is not those people. When I decide that this is my last YouTube video, and I'm not going to be there for a long time, I'm going to do one last video where I'm going to name names, dates, and everything that I know, just so you know. And then that's going to be my last YouTube video. But that's hopefully years from now. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, no, I don't. I have no plans on moving. Sue definitely has no plans on moving. But things do change. Like Deb's not here, so she's not going to be able to go out every Wednesday with Deb to do a Two Forks Up. She's over at the camper right now, or she was. She may have went up to Walmart and get some groceries or something. I don't know. Um, and now Melody's not here, so life changes, and I never know, and I don't think you'll ever know how you're going to react to some of them changes. But I do not have plans on moving back north into the snow anytime soon. Karen says Melody was 5-0. Don't think so. We did a Wednesday night live. You can go back and watch one of them. I forget which one it was. She was celebrating her birthday, and she said on that Wednesday night live show, she said, I'm now legal. I said, what do you mean legal? She said, I'm 55, and this is a 55 plus, and that's what she was referring to. But I could be wrong. I don't know that. You know how women are when it comes to their birthdays. Sometimes they, let me tell you something. Sue's mother, when she passed away, nobody really knew how old she was. And yet, for the death certificate, they had to find out her birth date. And they had to go look up her birth certificate to find out how old their mother was because she would never tell. Were there any services for Melody? I don't know that. I got no notification about it because if they were going to be around here, definitely we were going to go. But I got no notifications about it. I don't know if she was laid to rest here, back home in her home state. I don't know anything. And nobody sent me anything. So your guess is as good as mine. Somebody on her channel might know. I was really hoping that when she came to my channel to be a moderator, that maybe some of her subscribers would come to my channel and subscribe, because then when things happen between my channel and her channel, we could always keep each other informed as what's going on, and this being one of them. And so far, nobody has sent me anything. So apparently, none of her subscribers came to my channel and subscribed. Iron 12 says it's 16 degrees up there where he's at. I'm not sure. He says northeast, I think, so I'm not sure. Somewhere up there. Richard Sanders says, so sorry about Melody. She was a sweet lady. Yeah, she was. She was always friendly toward me. And on Wednesday Night Live, I made a special little memorial for Melody that'll be played at the very end of the show. And that's what's going to close the show out. Generally, I always try to, whenever I have meet and greets, I always try to get people to say hi to the kids, mom, dad, whatever, and see you on the other side. And I put them together, and then I just think that's kind of fun. And then we put that at the end of the show when we can, or something special that people have sent me. Some people send me videos of different things. Well, one was Christmas, the dogs. Remember the dogs with their Christmas with Santa and stuff like that? That was fun. So, yeah, when I get pictures and things from subscribers that send me stuff or whatever, I get them, I look at them, and then I try to use them if I can. Sometimes I can't because they send me pictures this way. Why do you keep doing that? You want to turn your phone this way. Do you see that flip? And take a picture that way. It looks better. Oh, I got a new member. Richard Sanders just joined my YouTube channel. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it, buddy. You know you're going to be 99 cents a month poorer now. I hope that don't cut into your, your coffee time. Mimi, I said that's not me. Yeah, it wasn't you, Mimi. Because whoever that person was, they moved out. That's why I was asking you if you were the one that moved out, because I can't remember who it was. Whoever that person was, she used to come to my shows all the time. She was a good member of my shows, and I haven't heard from her for a while. I forget her name. She's probably not subscribed anymore since she's moved out, and it really hurts my feelings that you live here and you subscribe to me, and as soon as you move out, you unsubscribe. What? I think my channel is a little bit more about everything other than the villages. I mean, good Lord, we do all kinds of charity work with Make-A-Wish Foundation. We have the Wednesday Night Live with all the different guests that come in and talk about all kinds of stuff. And just because you don't live here, you unsubscribe? What? Stop it! Where's Mark Barry at? Jerry Barrel says, hey, Mark Barry. I haven't got down that far yet, I guess. Or maybe I missed it. There goes our Amazon truck. He goes through here every day. More and more people, I think, are using Amazon. I do too. But I found a problem with Amazon. I mean, there's probably many problems with Amazon, but there's many great things about Amazon. But here's a problem. I got something from Amazon. The product itself was great. It was really good. But I needed customer service. So I called the company about customer service. The company's customer service was the worst. Have you guys ever experienced that? Where the product's good, but there's a little thing that you need to get worked out for some reason? Like, I don't know, maybe a computer, you need to know how to do something, so you call customer service. So I called customer service. They were super rude. It was a woman. Not that that means anything, but it was a woman. And I mean, she said some of the most nastiest things to me. And I said, hey, look, I just need a little bit of help on getting some of this stuff done. If you don't want to do it, then, maybe you ought to get another job there. I got testy too, and find something else that you're good at. So then I said, let me talk to the owner. Is the owner there? You don't need to talk to the owner. He's busy. He's got more important things to do. That's what she was saying to me. So I went to Amazon, and you know how you have the, what do you call it, product reviews? So I thought, I'm going to do this. So I went on product review, and I typed on there about, it's a great product. It does really good. It's built really well. The customer service sucks. Customer service is awful. I talked to, and I put the lady's name on there too. I can't think of her name. But I talked to Linda, let's say. And Linda didn't offer any help at all. And she told me that the owner of the company didn't have time to deal with me. He had more important things to do, and blah, blah, blah. And on there. 2 days later, Amazon sent me an email saying that my review was rejected because I had put some negative comments on there about the owner of the company. And that was it. So now I've got this little thing about the reviews on Amazon. Are they legit? Or are they just the ones that Amazon allows? Carol Baller says, I got several subs from her. Well, I was hoping I would, but here's the thing, Carol. When Melody was in the hospital, I found out through the grapevine. Nobody sent me a comment on any video, or nobody sent me an email from her channel letting me know that she was in the hospital. And when I found out, she had already been in the hospital for quite a while. So I got nothing from any of her subscribers. And I don't know why they would be like that. But I didn't. And then she passed. And you know how I found out? It was awful. I had a porch setting out here just like this, and we were just talking about nothing really. And everybody was asking me how was Melody at the hospital, and I said, well, last word I got was this or that. That's all I said. When I ended the video, I just happened to go down to the bottom of the chat because I didn't get to everybody's comments. And at the bottom, there was one on there, and I forget who sent it. It said, rest in peace, Melody. I went in the house and I told Sue, I said, did you hear anything about Melody passing away? And she said, no, why? I said, well, they're on this chat, the last one, it says, rest in peace, Melody. So I go in the computer, and now I go to Melody's channel, and I'm looking around, and there it was, all kinds of stuff on there. Nobody from Melody's channel let me know. And I wish somebody would have said something. I would love to have gotten a heads up on that so I could have passed it on to you guys. But no, nobody let me know. Well, I'm going to tell you on here right now exactly who that was on that product, Amazon. And you guys that are RVers, and I know most of you are not, but those of you that are, because I know there's always some out there, I got that RV door lock. That is a well-built piece of stuff. And for the price of it, it should be. You know, the one where it's got the electric combination and it's got the keys. It's also got a remote that comes with it for locking and unlocking doors. You can get them for your side boxes. I got mine for the door itself. And RV door, it's a great product. Don't call the factory. Terrible people up there. I think it's in Montana. Don't call them. Terrible people. They're terrible to work with. And I'll tell you, I got that from a full-time RV channel that went up there and they did a review. And this is the problem with some of these RV channel review things that I don't like. This is a big channel. I think it's called You and Me in the RV. They've got like, I don't even know, 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers. And that's what happens with subscribers. And it's not that they're any good. It's just that they take them channels and they use them for free advertisement for their product because they know it's going to reach a lot of people. And so they asked them to come up and do a walkthrough. And the owner of the company took them a walkthrough to the factory, to how they're shipped out and what the product is and how easy it is to install and all this and that. And I watched that thinking, that looks like a good product. You know, I think they put the company's address on there and all this and that. So I'm thinking I'm going to get me one for mine because that door lock is on it with the key. It's kind of hard to use. We're gonna have to end this real quick. I got 10% battery left. So anyway, I called them, I ordered it, and they ended up making me ship it back. I had to pay shipping back. I had to pay the shipping for the new one. They make you pay for everything. Rude people, and it was just awful. And I did it because of their channel. Don't trust them reviews on these big RV channels. They're doing what that company is paying them to do, and they may tell you, well, I got this from the factory, but I'm gonna give you a true thing. No, they're not. They tell them all the time, you can keep this if we get a positive review. I've gotten them, and I usually just tell them, don't send me anything. I'm not doing that. And anything that I've reviewed on my channel, I do it my way. I buy them. I don't take anything from anybody. And I tell you the pros and cons of it. You use your own judgment whether you want to buy it or not. I got to get out of here. Battery's 10%. I hate to do this or tell you like that. I got other questions I didn't get. I do appreciate it. We're leaving in probably a couple of days to head to Texas. Hopefully we can get news on Friday for you. I got to go ahead and do that too. And with that being said, I'll see you over in the RV channel. I'll see you tonight on WNL. And don't forget them super chats for the April gifts to give away.